Hey guys, short little lesson today on some common sleep disorders and everyone's favorite unconscious activity, dreaming. So we looked at our different stages of sleep in our last unit, stage 1 through 4, and then stage 1 basically becomes REM sleep, and stages 2, 3, 4 are considered non-REM sleep. Um, and sleep hopefully for most people happens kind of normally, and you get enough sleep, and all the positive benefits from that occur. But there can also be some problems with people in their sleep. So these are just a couple ones: insomnia, difficult falling asleep, and narcolepsy, difficult staying awake. So those are kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there. Sleep apnea is when you stop breathing while you're sleeping, and that can be very, very dangerous, heavily linked with obesity. And people might be required to wear oxygen mask basically during sleep, so they don't actually suffer the negative repercussions of sleep apnea. Nightmares, nightmares are something that people have. Some people have it more acutely and intense than others, and it could be a condition that people need to talk about. And night terrors are very, very intense, really, really, really intense, problematic nightmares basically happening during different stages of sleep. Nightmares happening during REM, um, and then night terrors and sleepwalking here happening during deeper levels of sleep, stages 3 and 4, as you guys can see here. So, somnambulism, sleepwalking, night terrors, and then nightmares happening during that REM sleep. Okay, so those are some conditions that you need to be aware of. Um, and sleep is super important, and people who are having difficulties sleeping for any number of reasons, they might need help with that. Um, One way that we can help with sleep deprivation is medication, but that can be a slippery slope. Whenever you're prescribing medication, you always have to weigh the risk reward element of it. um, and there's a danger that someone, suffering from insomnia, let's say they start taking sleeping pills, and maybe it helps them to fall asleep, but as they take it, their body builds up a natural resistance to it, a tolerance to it, and so the same dosage is no longer effective, and they require more and more and more dosage to the point where their body basically becomes dependent on it. And if they ever, maybe they can sleep with heavy dosages of the drug, but if they ever try to go off the drug, they wouldn't their body wouldn't naturally be able to fall asleep on its own. So, um, always got to be kind of careful about weighing again the it's not like sleeping pills are never an option, but it's the risk reward benefit for for prescribing that medication. Okay, so now moving on to dreaming. Again, dreaming is something that people are really interested in. Again, we all dream, even if you don't think you do. Everyone does. You do it basically every night, lots of times. You just most dreams aren't remembered. They can occur at any stages of sleep, though. Dreaming during REM sleep is much, much, much more acute. You remember it with much, much more detail, particularly if you're kind of close to waking up. So that REM sleep, those REM dreams, I should say, really kind of highly detailed, and you're like, I remember specific details. Versus if you have dreams at deeper stages of sleep, you might remember like some like big kind of ideas, but like specific details, you're probably not going to remember on that. Why do we dream? Well, we don't know. Like sleep, there's no clear cut answer of exactly why this is happening inside your brain. Okay, Freud obviously um, had his ideas in connection with his ideas of the unconsciousness and the power struggle between the id and the superego. Um, and basically, that he said that dreaming is your id doing all the stuff it wants to do. So you have your id, I want my selfish desires met, and I want to do all this kind of stuff. But your superego's like, you can't do that. Not in polite society. You can't be doing all those things. But when you're asleep and you're fully in your unconscious state, your id's like, hey, I can do whatever I want now. So there's nothing stopping me. So Freud would say you have these manifest images and stuff that they look like what they are, but there's also the latent, more symbolic meaning. So you see like the a baseball bat or whatever, and it might be more than just a baseball bat. It might be symbolizing something or whatever. Um, and that's the theory on dream, which is more fun. Everyone likes to interpret those dreams and like what's the secret hidden meaning behind all of this, and can I tell the future in my dreams and all this kind of stuff. So that's the Freudian interpretation of dreams, the wish fulfillment of the unconscious going on. And then you have some more modern ones with information processing. That dreaming is a way that your brain kind of puts the pieces of the puzzle together from the days, all the stimuli and stuff that you've been bombarded with all day, and your all the activities and experiences and all this kind of stuff. That you go to bed and your brain is through dreaming is putting all those pieces together. And then the activation synthesis hypothesis is just basically dreams don't really mean anything. Like they're a byproduct of the natural processing of the brain. That when you're sleeping, your brain's doing its stuff, it's firing, it's going off, and it creates these images. And basically, dreams are just your brain putting those meaningless images together. Basically, there's no purpose behind it. It's not like doing anything. It's just a byproduct of what your brain is doing, and you just kind of see these images activated in their brain. Okay, so your three different stages: dream fulfillment, wish fulfillment, I should say. Dreaming with the Freudian view, problem solving. Okay, looking through your major problems, and then just kind of the byproduct of your brain's natural, electrical processes going off, and then just kind of forming these images together to make a cogent story. So, regardless which one is correct, or maybe they're all correct in their own ways, or whatever, we do know that people have common dreams. So it's kind of interesting. All across the world, all different cultures and religions or whatever, people do have common dreams that they report. And so that's kind of a cool little link between us. I know, teachers joke about it at the beginning of the school year. We all have the same dream. Like we all have it. Like you show up to school and oh my gosh, nothing is ready and you're not prepared for class and like you're freaking out. Like it's the beginning of the year dream that like every teacher has. So there's kind of cool commonality there, and exactly what is going on with dreaming, we don't know for sure, but dreaming will continue to be something that's really fascinating, and people will continue to be interested in it because we still do it, and it's kind of this cool search for hidden meaning. So there's some information on dreaming, some common sleep problems that people might have, and make sure you know those stages of sleep and what makes them unique from each other as well.